Hello everybody, this is Alan with HeadphoneReviewHQ.com, and today I'm bringing you a review of the Sennheiser Momentum over-ear headphones. First, let's talk about the build quality and the fit and finish on the Momentums. I like the way they look. They're classy. They're not flashy at all. They're fairly, understated in their design. They've got some nice stitching on the headband and, consistent color throughout with some metal. So again, they're not overly jump out at you, but I think they look nice. Getting into the build quality, the headband itself has a metal piece that runs all the way through, so there's no plastic holding these things together. And the band itself has decent enough clamp to where it will stay on your head, but it doesn't create too much pressure at all. So as you can see, put these things on, they're not going to move around, so they'll hold them in place very well. Also, the headband is split in the middle, so it's breathable so that you actually can wear these for long periods of time without getting too much heat build up. On the underside of the headband, there is a pad there. It's not exactly cushy or anything, but these things are so lightweight that you really don't feel it pulling down on your head. And being that I have very little hair, I could actually tell when headbands are typically uncomfortable, I feel them pretty quickly. So getting onto the sides of the frames here, where the ear pads connect, there's a little plastic piece with the nice Sennheiser logo on the side. And what's interesting in between, there's a rubber piece where the metal band runs in between, and this is how you adjust the ear pads. And I love this feature because instead of most headphones that click into place, these actually slide up and down to exactly the position that you want them to stay in. And this rubber gives enough grip to where these things aren't going to move at all when you get them in place. So that's a fantastic feature, something I'd like to see on more headphones. Also, the cushions themselves are incredibly comfortable. They're cushy and they are well padded. Now, here's the downside. On the cushions themselves, they are about 1 inch wide and they're about 2 inches tall. So they're fairly narrow for your ears. And what I find interesting is most headphones that are around the ear headphones typically give you like a fairly large circle to go around and fully encompass your ears. These are a little bit different. These are slightly deep. They're about 1 inch deep, I'd say. And when you put these on your ears, the backs of your ears kind of touch the backs of the pads, and they sit in there kind of laid up against the back of the pad. So if you have ears that are too large to fit these openings, then these won't be very comfortable. Now, personally, myself, I found that I could wear these things for hours with zero discomfort. As a matter of fact, I found myself many times wearing these even when I wasn't playing music, just because, it kind of keeps people away from you because they think you're listening to something, and they're not uncomfortable at all. So as a matter of fact, I found them very comfortable. So that's a nice feature. Also included with these are 2 cables for hooking into your media player, whatever it is, computer, phone, whatever. These are both 1.4 meters long, which is a little over 4 feet. And one of them has play controls on it for an iPad or a MacBook Pro or an Android. And it's got your plus, minus, and your play button, play, pause, and on the back is an omnidirectional microphone. Now, the thing that I like about, and the other cable is just your standard cable to plug into any media player, just a stereo plug. Now, the thing that I really do like about these cables is they actually twist and lock into place. So these are both removable cables, obviously, otherwise why would they give you 2? But once you push them in, you twist them to the right slightly and they lock into place. So these things aren't going to fall out on you when you're listening, walking around, whatever. It's a fantastic job by Sennheiser. Now, I will say they are proprietary plugs, obviously, for the locking mechanism. And also, it looks like it's a 4-pole connection, and that's so that you can get your voice as well. It'd be interesting to see. They might even have some gaming connections for these. One last thing to note on the build quality is they do, on the left-hand side, have a couple of notches in Braille or nubs in Braille so that you know that it's your left-hand headset or headphone. And that pretty much wraps up on that. Again, a high-quality build. On one side, you've got your Sennheiser written out, and on the other side, it says Momentum. So you'll know exactly what you're wearing, and anybody who else wants to know can see it. All right, so let's talk about the bass on the Momentums. These things shocked me. I mean, when you look at these headphones, they're pretty small. As a matter of fact, I've definitely reviewed headphones that are 2 to 3 times the size of these, and I was not prepared for what came out of these headphones. I figured I'd start off easy and throw some BB King in there and just hear kind of what it sounded like going on the guitar. And what immediately got me was the presence in the just sub range of the bass that I didn't expect to be there. As a matter of fact, it's better on these than most any other set of headphones I've listened to, and definitely under the price range of where these could be found. What's really incredible is just how tight the bass is. When you get a nice solid note, it'll come on, and when that note cuts off, these stop. And another part that was beautiful is when you listen to a drum, a lot of times that hit on the drum may distort in some headphones, not so in these. You get the full detail and the resolution of that bass hit, and then it goes right into the regular note. If you listen to timpani or any kind of a 808 bass drum set on these, it'll blow your mind. You will not be prepared for the amount of bass that these things can bring you and the quality of the bass. The notes are all full, perfectly distinguishable, and just, they're wonderful to listen to. So again, you're not going to be prepared, as I wasn't, but they are fantastic in the bass realm. All right, so the mid-range on the Momentums. Again, they've knocked it out of the park with these things. This is the first set of Sennheisers that I've listened to that I've really loved the mid-range on. And that's saying something. I've listened to about 4 or 5 sets, but none of them even touch what these sound like. These are just full-bodied. Female vocalists sound wonderful on them. Male vocalists, guitars, electric, acoustic, everything sounds just great. I mean, there wasn't a single thing that I ran through these that I wish there was more. They do lean towards the warmer side of the spectrum, and not bright by any means. Just it's more of an engaging sound, especially on female vocalists. Your Alison Krauss's, your Adele's, those ladies just sound wonderful on these, and it's almost like you're a private audience in some sort of concert or, you know, private stage performance. It's really amazing and incredibly engaging to listen to. Again, your guitars, your pianos, all those things come through just perfectly, full-bodied, smooth, natural sounding. No, I didn't feel like there was any boost or anything missing from these. It was really a nice sound. Now going into the treble, again, they hit a home run here. Some headphones try too hard to bring the treble out to give you that detail. These do just the perfect balancing act. They give you all the detail you want and that presence and that airiness that you want from wind instruments or cymbals or hi-hats, anything like that. Just great sound. And at no point do they ever become fatiguing. They are always smooth, under control, never found them sibilant or too bright at all. I mean, literally, I could listen to these things for hours, and did, as a matter of fact, listen to these for hours and hours. It never once felt like I needed to take them off or give them a break or cut the volume or anything. Just a wonderful sounding set. And when you balance out the mids with the treble and the bass, you've got a really killer sound. Powering the Momentums. This is a mixed bag for me, but this is only because I'm testing with multiple devices. On all the laptops I've tried, my MacBook Pro, a Dell Precision workstation, even computer sound cards, more than enough power to push these things to ear bleeding levels. My Nexus 5 phone only went moderately loud. It has a horrendously weak amplifier in it. My wife's Galaxy S3 pushed these things plenty loud. Sure, you could go louder if you're really trying to damage your hearing, but it did the job. And then the iPhone 4 itself would push these things to extremely loud levels. So depending on what your player is and what your experience is with other headphones, you should kind of have an idea of where these fall. Now, if you do want to hook up a portable amplifier with these, there's a ton of great options out there. The FiiO E11 would just rock with these. The EO7K also. And I mean, there's a whole number of other amplifiers that would do well with these, but generally speaking, they don't need a ton of power to drive them. At 18 ohms and a fairly high sensitivity rating, these do a very well job with little amounts of power. This guy wanted to come visit. So as you could probably see, I'm in different clothes, and that's because my video focused on the background while I was doing this. So here we go again. One of the things that I said I was going to start trying to do in my videos is try and review these with glasses so that I could give a little bit of perspective as to how this actually affects wearing the headphones. So with that, I bought a cheap set of reading glasses, and these actually have fairly narrow frames on them, but it'll at least give you an idea of how these work. So these are basically touching my eyelashes, but I could see where these, if you have a thicker set of frames, these might become a problem, but these actually don't seem to do too bad for me. I had a friend who has a thicker set of frame glasses, and they kind of pushed his glasses up off his nose whenever he put these on, but they don't seem to do it for me. So, you know, your mileage may vary on this, but they seem to be okay. Now let's talk about the isolation. First, we'll talk about what these block out when you put them on. So here we go. They muffle quite a bit of sound, but they don't block out a ton. If there's conversations going on around you, you'll still be able to hear it, but it does muffle things a little bit. It deadens the sound. So, you know, it's not going to be active noise canceling type stuff, but it's not bad. And now for the fun stuff, because these are a closed set of headphones, let's now hear what they sound like whenever I crank up the volume. And again, this is on my Nexus 5, so take this with a grain of salt. This will only go moderately loud. So when I crank this all the way up, it's not super duper loud, but if there's any noise leakage, the microphone is right here. So you'll hear what it's like, you know, pretty much right next to my head. So that's what it sounds like off my head. I mean, you can obviously hear that across the room. So the hard part is taking them off because they really sound that good. They are an extremely musical set of headphones, unlike studio monitors where you can hear preamp gains and noise floors and all that kind of stuff. You won't get that with these. You'll get all that just lush detail, but miss out on the over analytical part of it. And again, these are a little bit on the warmer side, but I tend to enjoy that anyways. Rap, hip hop, dubstep, classical, jazz, bluegrass, country, pop, I think I said pop. I mean, literally everything that I threw at these things, these excelled at everything. And they are just truly dynamic, and being as comfortable as they are and everything else to build, they really are a wonderful set of headphones. So, you know, I can't say much other than the fact that they are the best sounding set of headphones that I've heard in this price range or under. That sings pretty major praises, especially considering some of the headphones that you guys have seen me review over time. So kudos to Sennheiser for really putting the time and the effort into making a killer set of headphones here. And so on to the closing here. Thank you very much, Sennheiser, for sending these out to me to review. I took a little bit longer to review these than I typically do, and part of that was just because I wanted to keep listening to them. You know, I had to find all those little things about it. They're just killer. So again, thank you. I hate having to send these back, but you know, you do what you have to do. If you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them in the form below. And also, if you plan on buying these, please use my links in the description below. You won't get charged any more for going there, but it does help me bring you more of these reviews over time. Also, check me out on Facebook at facebook.com/headphonereviewhq. Hit me up on Twitter at headphonehq. Go to my website at www.headphonereviewhq.com and sign up for my newsletter over there. I plan on having a contest here in the near future where I'm going to give away a set of headphones, and I'm still debating which set I give away. So go over there, get on my newsletter, and as always, I appreciate it. I got many more things coming your way, so I will see you soon. Oh, leave me a thumbs up, please. Thumbs up. That helps me get in front of more people on YouTube. And subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.